like to remark that polling station 11 is Charles Leopold Bell School. Reason why I'm bringing this information forth is that some persons believe that Charles Leopold Bell School is not a polling station. And they had questions, so with this, yes, that is a polling station. We are cleaning right now. Fromi is assisting us with cleaning the premises, so we have it function as a polling station. Also, polling station number 16 in St. John, on the voting cards, the address states Apache Lane, and we had some questions, so I want to inform the public of District 16, St. John Mac School, that it is Independence Lane if they are seeking the address, but just know that it's the Mac School in St. John. That's the address that we had from past, that we always had on the voting cards. That's Apache Lane. And unfortunately, we understood after that the address changed to Independence Lane. Yes?
A small clarification, thank you, Kathy. And then for the members of the media seated across from us, so we will allow questions from you. So what we'll ask for you to do then is to hit the button on your mic and stand, and then ask your question, and then we'll address that. So I saw here the hand in the back, so I'll allow that one first if you don't mind.
I did ask before and
Yeah?
you came in after. Thank you.
Then Phoebe Shaw from SMN News.
Thank you. Good morning. I'd like some clarification from the civil registry. I am yet to understand the mix-up with the address, because this is not the first election. How long have we been having this problem? And we've had a cleanup, you said, in the civil registry. Why not at least have your polling station address corrected and be correct on the polling on the voting cards? Besides that, for the 1,207 voting cards, how many persons the court mandated to be registered? Because there were some cases, there were people who were asking to get on the registry. Can you give us an update on that?
The address for the school, we don't manage school address. So that's in the voting registry, is not civil registry. So the address of a school, that was wrong in our voting registry form for the polling station. It's not a wrong address in civil registry. We always had the Mac School in St. John as Apache Lane in the voting registry. So we will make the correction from now and make sure that we have the correct building address for the Mac School in St. John. And it has from, I mean, I have done 6 elections already on St. Martin, and since then it was Apache Road. Is the Corps Police call and ask me, persons within the community, CPO call and ask where is Apache Lane, and they couldn't find it. So I find it in place to rectify it right here to the public. Also, with regards to the court, yesterday we had sitting for court request. Indeed, the court did not give all the verdict. We had 32 requests from persons that came after to register after the 23rd of October. Some persons was already registered, however they were not Dutch. So the naturalization happened on the 15th of December, but the naturalization happens retroactive to July. Some persons then is considered Dutch from July, but they were not in the system. So I believe it was 4 that naturalized and were granted permission to be added to the voting registry that is from the Dutch citizens, that new Dutch citizens. We had a few persons as well that they were registered after they came from different places. They were on the island, as you could read in the newspaper. There was 2 that were working already here, and they could have proof that they're working with slips and all kinds of proof that they submit to the judge. They are living on St. Martin, but they registered after the 23rd. And we had some persons that were deregistered after, that was denied as well by the judge. So in total right now, we had 11 that was approved, and we are waiting for others. Also, civil registry had some persons was deregistered based on the project that we are doing right now. We submitted the request ourselves for 15 persons. The judge agreed that he will approve all 15. We have also the prison, whereby we didn't have all the names of the inmates, and those will be also granted to have them all to vote at the district number 19, which is the prison.
You said 350, let me make sure you said 350
Yes.
duplicates were made. Can you explain me the reason for duplicate? If you have original cards that were supposed to be delivered, were delivered, what reason did the voter give that you had to make a duplicate? Because for me, if you have your original card and a voter card, for me that's enough for fraud. So can you explain this part? I need to really get an explanation. And my next question, if you want to answer first, and then I can go to the police.
Up to you.
All right, so I'll wait for your answer for that.
Okay. Thank you for that question. It's also a puzzle for me.
But you issue them. But you issue them.
Yes, but we deliver them to the post office. So I must say we had a lot of back and forth with the cards after we called community to come to the government building to collect the voting cards. They were a little bit hesitate to come to pick up. They said no, they wanted via the post. We gave them to the post office. They were distributed. However, persons come and say they never received the cards. So my question also is, where were the cards distributed? I believe it has to be distributed to the correct address. If it's to the correct address, that means that that person is not any longer to that address. And then they didn't go to the address to pick it up. So what they do, they come to civil registry and we don't have it there. Then we had a few persons said it was damaged because of rain. So we had to issue a duplicate. We have persons that says that they moved and they couldn't get to the landlord of the address, so they couldn't get it. Several information they gave him, but to come back to fraud, I don't think that will cause a fraud in my opinion, let me say it like that. Because we train, as Ms. Tacklin said, we trained all the 100 persons that will sit at the polling station. We didn't put friends and family together. We have 5 different persons. So we believe in the integrity of those 5 persons per polling station. When one person's reached with an identification card and their voting card to the chairperson of the voting bureau, polling station, that person controls the person and the voting card. Number 2 will control the KISS, what we call KISS register, the voting registry, and put a signature by the name of the person. So that person is checked off. That person cannot come twice to vote. So my question is, where the fraud can happen to that in that setting. I'm not saying that fraud cannot happen with election. Don't take me wrong. I don't know where, and I'm not. That's why we are here, all of us, to try to avoid those type of scenarios. But everybody has the right to get a voting card. By law, 8 days prior to election, everyone has to get their voting card. And we did all of that on paper, and also as manpower, we did it. However, somewhere, somehow, persons did not receive their voting cards. And that's why we're there tomorrow again, for persons to collect their voting cards. And if I may add, civil registry does not hire extra manpower to work at civil registry. So we have our regular work. On top of that, we work every day to accommodate person with voting. And of course, that is our main focus right now in these days.
Thank you for the explanation. My question is for the Chief of Police, Karjan. Commissioner, can you explain me if you have a lack of manpower to be able to man all the polling stations, as well as traffic activity on Thursday and all the other things police will have to deal with on election day?
Thanks for that question, Bibi. Naturally, it's an exceptional situation when you have an election. It's mostly already all hands on deck. And with what I explained, that there's normal activity going on in St. Martin with the ships and port, etc., etc. Indeed, we have enough manpower, and the way we did this was that we will be supported by Curacao, Aruba, and the BES. So Wednesday, 24 officers from these islands will be flown in. Will be also mainly used not at the polling stations. We wanted to maintain our local officers at the polling stations. They know the community, they know how to deal with them, and the officers that we are bringing in are more for support for public order outside and traffic situations, etc.
Yes, John, it's election day. Your first election, no need to worry. Today, I will show you the proper steps on how to vote. Don't forget to walk with a valid form of identification and your voting card. When you get to the front of the line, hand the chairperson your ID and voting card. John, you can only use the red pencil attached to the voting booth. John, you can only vote for one person. Let the chairperson know you made a mistake. They will hand you another ballot. You have one last chance. Remember, you can only use the red pencil, color the full circle, vote for one candidate, and don't write or draw on the ballot. Important information. Election day is on the 11th of January. Voting stations are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Selling your vote is a crime. Voting is a fundamental democratic right and a crucial civic duty that ensures representation, accountability, participation, and progress within a society. Step into the voting booth and cast your vote. When you are done, place the ballot in the bin.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
The change for Country St. Martin. Today is going to be a turn point in history of Country St. Martin. It's time to get back the trust and the hope in the citizens of this country. And that is what we're losing now in this democratic system. And that is the reason that the UNSM is here, actually to please serve and facilitate the people of this country. And we have the firm conviction that the UNSM is going to be part of the upcoming next government for Country St. Martin.
The race for the 2024 election did not start today. It started with us the day we swore into Parliament, because we didn't have to campaign during an election. We campaigned by 4 years of the first time having people that are able to keep a government together. For the first time having a legislator that actually knows how to get the job done in Parliament. For the first time having a minister that addressed not one, but two, but multiple ministries. We have been working. The people of St. Martin have a simple choice to make, in my opinion. Who gets the job done? Who can you count on to represent you? Through thick and thin, through COVID, through the Dutch government coming at you, through all of the issues, who can you depend on? Our campaign has started in 2020. We are finishing it now as of Postulation Day, because now it's just the time to tell the people and remind them the ability of the United People's Party, the work ethic, the drive and the love.
When we look at the outcome of the population census, one that we have had at least after more than 10 years, and when it is calculated, it has been estimated that approximately 25% of our people live under the poverty line. That needs the attention of this party, that has the attention of this party. And it is not only about matters such as the minimum wage and the basket of goods. We've got to look at all of the things that affect the lives of our people, because this Democratic Party really feels that if one person is left behind, it is one person too many. And so we are going to be focusing on the communities, on the population, on what our people are really going through. So the big propaganda and those kind of things, you're not going to see much of it. We want the people to know we are there, but our focus is going to be on the community, on the districts, and on the people, our vulnerable persons, the elderly, the young people. There is so much to be done. And the question is, are we better off today than we were 4 to 5 years ago? That needs to be redone.
I think it was an invigorating experience. Last time we had a small crowd, it was just 8 of us with one little banner walking through the street from the same spot. This time, with the drum band, the energy, everyone, the family, supporters, friends, messages coming in, my phone hasn't stopped buzzing. It really fired me up and fired us up, I think. And we are prepared and we're ready for this campaign season.
What would be your focal point of concern or discussion during this campaigning period?
Most definitely the financial management of government. We have spoken exhaustively about this, LBHAM to regulate tendering. This is a time period as well during campaign where you see a lot of strange tenders going out with whatever guidelines have been selected by whomever is involved. And that's something that we focused on, because until you fix that, you can't actually fix the money, can you?
We are going to be focusing on every layer within the economy, And our approach when we dealing with solutions is going to be a wholesome approach in the sense of we're not checking only from a corner of legal, we're also checking from a corner of social. So when we are approaching our solutions, it's going to be an entire solution that involves all ministries. We believe that the best way going forward to bring a solution to any specific topic that we are dealing with is to cover it through all the ministries. When you have ministries working selectively or separately, you do not have the cohesiveness or the effectiveness of the solution is not covering all the areas that you want to tackle.
National Alliance, it is a culmination of a promise made to the people of St. Martin for stability, first of all. We went in the toughest ever time that St. Martin has ever faced, and we went from negative coffers in COVID-19 to now being in the bank, meaning that we are doing well. We now have the funds to be able to make the necessary changes with the capital expenditures that have been approved. Our government of youth and experience of innovation has brought St. Martin out of the dredges, and we are now on our way to the top of the hill. And that's why we need another 4 years to continue to do the good work that we have started. Legislation takes time, and it's in the process. And a promise made to the people of St. Martin is a promise kept. We will ensure that the minimum wage is raised. We will ensure that there is better housing for our people. But we need the 4 years to do that. We finally have the funding in place, and now it is time for the execution. A lot who are out there can talk and throw rocks, but who in the kitchen feels the heat? And we inherited a mess.
To represent the people, to go to them, to go to their district, basically taking care of their needs. For example, if they need something, I'm always available. So I'm going to make myself available like I'm already in the parliamentarian or in the prime minister's seat. I'm not waiting until election. We get to work today.
As far as if elected as a parliamentarian, how do you think you can benefit as a one-man?
Well, I think I'm going to benefit a lot because from what I know, for example, I was on the bus today coming here, right, with a lady. She's about 80, real energetic and stuff, and she told me that things been bad here since the 40s. You know what I'm saying? So with me being there, the people they really have somebody that love them, that care for them, that's willing to sacrifice for them.
Focus of discussion or messaging to the general public.
I have told the people of St. Martin we are not looking for change. We are looking for a shift, in a paradigm shift, to take this country in a different direction. I am saying to the people of St. Martin, the now train is coming their way, so get on board. We want to focus very, very hard on pre-clearance. We want to focus on the thing that's important to this society, that can generate the wealth for our people in this country, that can give them a sense of belonging back into this country. Like I said upstairs, we built this country. And now today we have to pay to live in our own country. And I am saying we are going to right that wrong. When we was told that our backs are against the wall and we have to take these loans and we have to deal with these conditions. No. We stand equal with anyone in this region and anyone in this world. We built this country. Our parents have toiled for us to live and represent this country.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah. Your social health insurances.
Yes, John, it's election day. Your first election, no need to worry. Today, I will show you the proper steps on how to vote. Don't forget to walk with a valid form of identification and your voting card. When you get to the front of the line, hand the chairperson your ID and voting card. John, you can only use the red pencil attached to the voting booth. John, you can only vote for one person. Let the chairperson know you made a mistake. They will hand you another ballot. You have one last chance. Remember, you can only use the red pencil, color the full circle, vote for one candidate, and don't write or draw on the ballot. Important information. Election Day is on the 11th of January. Voting stations are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Selling your vote is a crime. Voting is a fundamental democratic right and a crucial civic duty that ensures representation, accountability, participation, and progress within a society. Step into the voting booth and cast your vote. When you are done, place the ballot in the bin.
The Prime Minister, in addressing the launch, made it known that the work being done by the Steinbocks and Rotary West was key. As before, many children were deprived of an education because their hearing impediment was not diagnosed early. Using her deaf aunt as an example, she says it's important to see the immediate transformation of people's circumstances.
I know for sure my aunt can read and write. And it struck me from as far back as then that, like your mother, how much more different, she was a twin, is a twin, how much more different her life would have been had she been given the opportunity to be able to be fully functional in today's world.
Ms. Motley says there must be a commitment to see people, hear people, and feel people. Testing was previously a must from the Ministry of Education.
We introduced a survey that allowed us to be able to take truly a test to see what was the status of children in this country. And the same estimates that I'm going through now, Ida May, you were there with me at the time, and the same estimates that I'm going through now, we argued and were successful in receiving support then and every year thereafter to support hearing, speech, and sight. That's why I laughed and I said Ben and I go way back, because Ben, you were among those people who helped us in those early years with that test.
She says the hearing difficulties in children were spotted back then, and diagnosis is key.
If we don't diagnose why people are not learning, we can't fix the problem, no different from a doctor. And we were therefore able to start a program that allowed us to become leaders in the Americas. Barbados became the first country in the Americas to test children at 3 and 5 for hearing and speech impediment, and we were never fully over the hurdle with sight, but we were a long way from where we were when we started and close to being able to be comprehensive. It has been one of the greatest regrets of my public life that that project was abandoned by this Ministry of Education along the way.
Prime Minister Motley then sat with specialist Dr. Ben Stabler to have her own hearing tested. for a demonstration of the device which will be used to carry out the testing in the island schools. Once hearing problems are detected, the Rotary West program then provides the relevant device to correct the problem. Wendy Burke, CBC News.